And it's just like, so, but rather than shoot at the fedora, he turned to the counter, which had pies on it, and he fired on like six custard pies, helpless pies. He's firing on pies. And so all this creamy custard is flying all over the place and he's shooting at them. And when the smoke cleared, he like massacred half a dozen innocent pies in
Oh
this
my,
in this cafe, and he unloaded this volley of gunfire. The patrons of the cafe like dove under the counter, under the tables to hide. And at this point, a police officer, Monty Sherman, he arrives, and several other squad cars that had detectives and everything else in it. So Ted was shuffled out right away and
gosh.
taken
Yeah.
to Hollywood Receiving Hospital, where they determined that yes, indeed, Ted was shit-faced. And so that's and so he was then called in front of the undersheriff Arthur Jewell, and Jules was not happy with Ted. This is not, I mean, because it was in the newspaper with a picture of Ted and everything. You don't want this from your deputies. And so he offered him the opportunity to resign or be fired. So Swift was like, oh, okay. He was really popular with the other cops, the other deputies. They liked him. He was a likable guy. It sounds like he was fun at parties, but just don't wear a fedora or hold a cream pie, you know? And so his fellow deputies passed the hat and they got $75 raised to sort of help pay for the damage he'd done at the diner when he was firing randomly. And so he left the sheriff's department and he kind of ended up in the growing Southern California aerospace industry. He owned two charter companies. Ted was a pretty sharp guy. He owned two charter companies, Desert Skyways and Swift Air, after his own last name. And then in October 1949, two men were injured and three were killed on Lake Mead, sort of behind Hoover Dam, when the amphibian plane that they were test landing snagged its landing wheels in the water and it slammed over on its back and it just burst into flames. And one of the dead was former Deputy Ted Swift.